I have to admit something. Recently, I had a light bulb go off. Oh, come on. But that gave me an idea. I needed a light bulb, and not just any light bulb. This is the LIFX A19. This thing is really cool. I was looking into lighting for my channel recently because, normally it looks like this. My name's Ray, this is Lit with Ray, welcome to my channel. I make videos on creativity and technology, so consider subscribing, and now, let's get into it. Even though I love the look where everything is kind of flat and the tones are nice and even, I needed something to kind of spruce it up a little bit for the background, not only for the other channel, for this channel as well. Recently I had somebody reach out to me about this light, so I thought why not create a review on it? Although I've learned a couple of things along the way and I wanted to share my experience as well as review what the A19 can and, can't do, so let's get into that. So I'm gonna leave a link down in the description if you're curious about it or you wanna get one. So first things first, let's get this lamp up here. So what was I really looking for? Initially, I was looking for an LED light, something similar to this here, but would change colors. And I came across one on Amazon, it cost around $70. And I mean, for what it was, it looked cool and it looked great, but I was on the fence for about a week trying to decide what to get. As you can see, there aren't too many places where I can really put an LED light. I have two light stands here. This one actually screws into one of my light stands. I kind of feel like it's overkill, but my camera does too, and that's what's holding it. I asked a question on Facebook and I got a couple of answers, and one really stood out to me, which was the LIFX Lightbulb. LIFX offers a lot of different types of lights, which I think is extremely cool. This one, which is the A19, then they also have a mini. That light also produces billions of colors. They have multicolor candle lights. I mean, hell. They sell white lights, which are normal. Essentially, they're just hitting every range of the spectrum. This one even has a bigger brother, which is the A19 Plus, which is $20 more. The cool thing about it is it has infrared, which I was kind of thinking about last night when I was looking at their website, and kind of disappointed I didn't go with that one because I could do some cool, creepy quarantine type stuff, quarantine the movie, not quarantine what's going on right now. The difference is there's a bunch of zombies running around in that movie, and in this there's, people of similar intelligence running around. Not everybody, of course. LIFX actually has light strips too, which I was seriously torn on. I was gonna get a light strip and I thought that was gonna be really cool, but I don't know. The only way to put a light here would be to put one right here, which would kind of illuminate me and it would make coloring a pain in the ass. So I had to go against that. The thing that stood out with this one though is that it screws into a regular fixture, as do the rest of their lights except for the light strip. And this thing is connected to Wi-Fi, so I can control it with so many different devices. So it'll connect to Alexa, Cortana, Google Assistant, SmartThings / Bixby. I don't even know if that's like a one-on-one thing, but that's kind of cool. It'll even connect to the Galaxy smartwatch, which is pretty awesome. And of course, if this, then that, IFTT, which if you haven't heard of it, is really awesome. It is what it sounds. If something happens, then do this. And it's an integration that's completely free that you can set up on your phone. You could probably even set it up where if you drop a book on your toe, it calls 911 for you. The possibilities are endless, and that's something that I really love about that. It's not super complicated, but it is something that you have to spend some time with trying to get used to. Regardless, we're not focused on that in this video, we're focused on this. So what I want to do now is show you what this thing can actually do. So there's an app for Windows, I'm sure there's one for Mac OS too, there's also an app for my Android, and of course there's going to be one for iOS as well. So this thing was very easy to set up, so I am not unhappy whatsoever. All I did was plug in the light, install the app, and it worked as magic. All I had to do was select it from here and boom, it's done. So now let's watch this thing work. Nice. All right, I can use it with SmartThings, which I'm still kind of playing with. Let's find out. Turn off backlight. All right, so I'm still messing with Bixby and SmartThings. We'll worry about that another time. Let's see if it works on my watch. It does like 50% of the time, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. I have the logo on, it says on, and now it says disconnected. All right, perfect. So this is one of those times where it's not working. That's the 50%. So let's control it with Alexa. Turn off backlight. Boom. Using the Alexa app. Now, let's try it again. Set backlight to green. Set backlight to 100%. As you can tell, it's very bright. Set backlight to 1%. That's with Alexa. A lot of people have Alexa, so you guys know how that works. Hey Google, turn off backlight. First thing I'm going to do is open up the LIFX app. There's actually an app for your phone, both for iOS and for Android, and there's one for Windows as well. I'm sure there's going to be one for macOS, but I don't have macOS, I don't have a Mac, so, we're going to have to deal with it. I'm going to turn the backlight on. Simple, right? So one of the cool things that you can do with this, you can assign it to your apartment. Now, if you have multiple lights, I only have one light right here. You can actually do it by room, or you can do it by individual device. So I'm in studio right now. I can actually change this right here, change the intensity of the whiteness. I can drop it down to a whitish pink. I don't know why that's pink actually, because it's definitely on the bluer spectrum. You can change all the different colors, right? Now, going to backlight, it's the same exact thing. Also on the app, I can control the brightness level. Simple, just like this. We don't even have to stick to colors. Is go to whites, and I can go from 2500K all the way up to 9000K. So you're changing your different temperatures between a yellowish color and a bluish color. It also has different themes that you can use. So I can do intense, which if I tap this a couple of times, it changes the colors. Not too shabby. I can do proud, dream, peaceful. One thing that I found last night when I was playing with this, because I've been playing with it non-stop for the last week, is bias lighting. This is something that I've truly needed when I'm color grading, when I'm editing. Like, this is cool. This is important. You set this behind your screen and it makes it so that all the lighting isn't biased. You can actually color a lot more specifically, and it is something that you will definitely need if you're getting into that. So like I said, I am super excited about this. There's so many different other ones on here as well. So actually, if you go up to the top here, you have several different effects that you can actually select on the light bulb. So if I do flicker, I'll hit select light, backlight, apply, play. And it's not really flickering, so to speak. I really know what's going on with this, so we're gonna go off of that. We could do pastel colors. We'll set the speed to 5 seconds. Now, it should work. They have spooky. You can also do visualizer, play. Okay, so now if I'm talking into my phone, it should be changing the different brightness. And as you can see, the light is flickering while I'm talking. Maybe it's picking up my heartbeat. I'm gonna put this down for a second. That's really weird. Cool though. One of the really cool things that stands out about this device, it has a 22.8 year lifespan. What light bulb lasts 23 years? This thing is gonna be legal to drink by the time it dies. Yeah, we can party together, dude. That's awesome. This thing doesn't get hot. It gets a little warm, but it doesn't get hot. I can actually pick it up and touch it. I probably wouldn't touch the metal if I unscrew the light bulb, because that could be very hot. It conducts heat. Don't do that. All right, awesome. So clearly there's a lot of uses for this thing. I'm actually gonna set it behind me and we'll talk about the nerdy stats to it. On standby, it uses half a watt of power, which really isn't that much at all. Now at its full brightness, it's gonna be working at 11 watts. So at 11 watts, this thing does get exceptionally bright. Typically, your standard light bulb is gonna be anywhere from 40 watts to 100 watts. Those get exceptionally hot. They are bright. They also use a lot of energy. LEDs are a lot more efficient. This light has 1 trillion colors. Yes, I do mean trillion with a TR, not just a B. There's no B in trillion anyways. But on their website, they say it's not a typo. So I'm gonna trust their website. At its maximum, it produces 1100 lumens. So very bright. Now, as I mentioned, this also does work on Windows. However, I found that there's an issue where it doesn't always show up. I'll open the app up and it won't be there. The cool thing about Windows though is it does show you different ways that you can integrate your light bulb with like Cortana or even with if this then that. Still something that I'm struggling to pronounce. So let's talk about what I love about this light bulb. First of all, the color selection. There's so many different colors that you can choose. The fact that it's dimmable, this was actually a main buying point because I was looking at other lights which were a bit cheaper. They were 15-watt lights. They were actually outdoor lights, which I didn't realize. I almost purchased them. I'm really glad that I didn't, but they weren't dimmable. And that is something that clearly would not be great. I don't need a spotlight in here. I don't need to worry about spotlights because, you know, it's gonna look like the police are in here or something. It's gonna be a pain in the butt to edit. So glad I didn't go there. I also love the fact that it works off of Wi-Fi and it can integrate with many different things. Really, there's a lot of things that I do love about this light bulb. There are a few things that frustrate me about this light bulb though. Initially when I was setting it up, I had to do a reset sequence where you turn it off and on 5 times and then it puts itself into reset mode and then you can connect it. I'm not sure what that was about. It's all right. It's worked since then. The second thing is that it's not always responsive. Sometimes it doesn't show up in my app. I just turn the app on and off and then all of a sudden it's working again. So that's not really a huge deal. As you could tell with my watch, it didn't work. It didn't show up at all. Let's be realistic. I am not gonna like scroll through 20 different things just to get to the light so I can turn it off. It's gonna be quicker for me to just use Google Assistant or Alexa or Bixby, which again, really wasn't working. Nobody likes Bixby anyways, so let's get away from that. The last thing that frustrates me about this light bulb, which is no fault of LIFX, it's actually my own, is that I keep kicking over the lamp. I'm really worried that I'm gonna break the light bulb, but so far it seems to be durable. I wanna get a new lamp. I was actually thinking about putting it in a softbox. It might be something that I do in the future, but in the meantime, I like it the way it is. Overall, I'm super excited about this light. I can't wait to play with it some more because there's definitely a lot that I wanna do with it. So you're gonna notice that in the rest of my videos, I'm gonna have a light. I had a couple of people reach out asking me about the light, which is why I decided to do this review. So if you're curious about the light and you want to get one too, I left a link down in the description below. Because, you know, this thing is really cool. I've not been able to stop playing with it for like the last few days. So quick question for you. Do you have the A19? Do you use color lighting in your videos? I want to hear all about it down in the comments below. Smash that like button if you got value out of this. If you didn't, well, you know what to do. Yeah, you know. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and until next time, I'll catch you later.